Hello, this is Basic Electronics Engineering. The course code is EC201. The contact hour is 3 lecture classes. The total contact hour is 36 hours. The credit point of this subject is 3. Myself, Dr. Indranath Sarkar. I am the Associate Professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering of GIS College of Engineering, Kolladi. This course has 4 number of outcomes. We expect the students will be at the end of the course the student will be able to demonstrate PN junction diode, ideal diode, diode models and its circuit analysis, application of diode and special diodes. The student also will be explained how operational amplifiers are modeled and analyzed, and to design operational amplifier circuits to perform operations such as integration, differentiation on electronic signals. The students must analyze the concept of both positive and negative feedback in electronic circuits and its applications. The student must develop the capability to analyze and design simple circuits containing nonlinear elements such as transistors using the concept of load lines, operating points and the incremental analysis. This course is comprised of 6 number of modules. Each module has the number of class limited, that is 5 number of class assigned to module 1 on basic semiconductors, 7 contact hour assigned to module 2 on PN junction diode and its applications. Module 3 has 8 contact hour on bipolar junction transistor. Module 4 has field effect transistor to describe within 6 contact hour. 8 contact hour assigned to module 5 where feedback and operational amplifier will be discussed, and the 2 contact hour assigned to module 6 where the cathode ray oscilloscope will be discussed. This is the prerequisite required for basic electronics engineering. Normally prerequisites are essential to understand a certain course. In this case, as the students are entering after class 12 into BTech courses and the basic electronics engineering is studied in the first year, so here we expect the basic course of electronics engineering progress from the fundamentals of electricity, direct current, devices and circuits, series and parallel circuits, to the study of active and passive components, Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's law, that is Kirchhoff's voltage law and Kirchhoff's current law, as well as Ampere's law. In the modern electronics part of the physics in the 10+2, all these items have been taught. So students should recapitulate these theory as well as mathematical formula before going to opt for basic electronics engineering. So therefore Kirchhoff's law, especially the Kirchhoff's voltage law and Kirchhoff's current law as well as Ampere's law, have plenty of applications in the design part of electronics devices, because basic electronics circuit is normally tells about the component description. That means there are several components exist in basic electronics engineering subject. All these components are defined, its characteristics defined, as well as the combination of such component may produce complex circuitry, and the categories of circuit and its input and output characteristics all have been defined. So basic electronics is an important subject. Here students are going through the description and characteristics of all these components, so that in future whenever they are interested about circuit realization, they shall recall about the characteristics they have studied in basic electronics engineering. And for this subject, the data sheet validation of each of these components are required to be carried out by the student, because some component whatever studied has limited features to be explained within the class, and there are detailed feature exists in the datasheet. If the student is interested to create some model, then student should deal with datasheet, the how to see the datasheet, and how what are the parametric values required to observe from the datasheet will be discussed in the class. So basic electronics engineering is one of the important subject for any engineering domain, because uh, nowadays there are many interdisciplinary projects are going on in which some electronic circuitry exists. So irrelevant of the department, electronic circuit may be applied to many issues. So that is why basic electronics has contribution about the basic characteristics understanding for those components. So students must give full attention about the characteristics as well as description, mathematical equation whenever discussed for each of the components. Now in the course outcome and program outcome mapping, we are seeing that there are 12 number of program outcomes which are mapped to the course outcome statements. So here, as 4 number of course outcome statement exist for basic electronics engineering, they are having different weightages assigned to each of the column of program outcomes. And here 3 depicts the high weightage assigned for a certain mapping, and 2 means the moderate linking, and 1 stands for the least linking. And when there is no link, it is kept vacant with a dash line. Now basic electronics is the foundation engineering subject, as well as it is the basic engineering subject. It has the uses of modern tools regarding the simulation of the circuits, as well as it has long-term relation to the student regarding the implementation of projects. So it's a lifelong learning weightage is very high, as well as various surrounding that is applications in the surrounding environment exist. That is why basic electronics engineering is mostly a foundation subject. That is why at the initial part of the program outcome 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has a great linkage with basic electronics, as well as program outcome 11 and 12 are also. So if we look at the modern tool uses, as well as the project initiative, as well as the foundation engineering concept, we are getting higher weightage for the basic electronics engineering with those program outcomes. And similarly, if we have some long target, that is after a long duration, we have a target to implement certain circuitry which is useful for the mankind. That type of target may be fulfilled, and that is lifelong learning has a great importance on basic electronics engineering, because we sometimes we have a future target of implementing any circuit or applications for the mankind. So that is why basic electronics are getting higher weightage in that part. The course has objective impart fundamental knowledge to understand the basic of semiconductor and components like diode, transistor, FET, MOSFET, and operational amplifier. It will be it would build mathematical and numerical background for design of electronic circuit and components value. Students equipped with the knowledge and training provided in the course will be able to participate in the design and development and operation in the different area of electronic systems. So therefore basic electronics has a widest domain of application, because it is dealing with the components which are required to implement electronic circuitry. So all the basic components are included regarding its description, input characteristics, output characteristics. So that is why whenever there is a project related work, basic electronics recalled. So that is why it has a long time application for students of any department, because in any department there is a project realization with electronic circuitry. For any domain, it involves uh, the concept of various components of basic electronics. So therefore, this subject is truly important for any department. The feedback amplifier, the topics to be discussed are feedback topologies, series shunt feedback amplifier, and shunt feedback amplifier. So today in this video, we will discuss about various topologies of the feedback amplifier, as well as there are various methods of derivations of the impedances as well as gains for all these topologies we will discuss. Now this is a typical voltage series feedback amplifier. That is, it is called voltage series feedback amplifier. There are another name which is called series shunt feedback amplifier. So there are two names for the same feedback amplifier. It is a voltage amplifier. That is, input quantity is voltage and the output quantity is also voltage. And how it could be proved that it is input voltage and output voltage, we already have discussed that series connection is required for higher impedances and shunt connection is required for lower impedances. So it is very much clear that input of the amplifier is having higher impedance and at the output you are getting lower impedance. We know for voltage amplifier, input impedance is high and output impedance is low. So from this series shunt connection, it is very much clear that it is a voltage amplifier. So that is why it is a series shunt feedback amplifier, or it is called voltage series. What does it mean? This voltage written first is the output quantity and this series is the mixing network. Mixing network exists here. This is mixing network. It is a series connection. That is why this series is coming. And this is known as shunt connection. Okay, so shunt connection, we are getting the voltage. That is why this voltage we have written here. Now for the mathematical derivations, first we have to calculate what is the overall feedback gain. Now to calculate the gain, first you apply KVL for this loop. So this is positive and this is negative, and do not consider any voltage drop in the source resistance, because for feedback amplifier we already have discussed that this source resistance is very low value. That is, for basic amplifier source resistance is very small, so no voltage drop we can consider across RS. So using the KVL, what we can write, minus Vs plus Vi plus Vf, because this side positive means this side positive and this side negative. Okay, for feedback voltage this is positive and this is negative, so therefore we can write this equation, or Vs is equal to Vi plus, we are writing Vf, but instead of Vf we can write beta V0, because V0 is output voltage and beta is the fraction. Multiplying these two quantity we are getting the Vf, so instead of Vf we can write here it is beta V0. Now in the output circuit you see what we are getting, V0 is almost equal to AVVI, because R0 is very small, so therefore in the output we are getting V0 is equal to AV into Vi. So therefore this is equation say 1 and this is equation 2. Now replacing this Vi from 1 and 2, we are getting Vs equal to V0 by AV plus beta V0.
So from this, if we calculate V0 by Vs, we will get so in this way we are getting the overall gain due to feedback. So this is the overall gain due to feedback, which is AV divided by 1 plus AV beta. So therefore voltage gain without feedback for basic amplifier, it is AV, which is reduced by the quantity desensitivity factor, which is 1 plus A beta. So here is also, it is proving that the overall feedback gain has been reduced by the factor 1 plus AV beta. So this is about the feedback gain of voltage amplifier. Now we are interested about calculating the input impedances. Input impedance due to feedback. So let it be Zin, and that will be written as Vs divided by the input current. This is the input current to the amplifier. So Vs divided by at the input loop, again we are writing the KVL minus Vs plus Vi plus Va, that is equal to 0, or Vs is equal to Vi plus, instead of Vf we already have written, it is a beta V0. Now what is V0? AV into Vi. So it is beta into AV into Vi. Therefore replacing Vs into this equation, we are getting Zin is given by Vi plus beta AV V0. No, this is Vi divided by I input. Now see, if I take Vi common, it is giving Vi divided by I into 1 plus A beta. Now what does it mean? Vi by II. Vi is the voltage across the input impedance of the basic amplifier, where input current is flowing through the input impedance of the basic amplifier. Therefore, Vi by II gives you the input impedance Ri. So here we can write, it is nothing but Ri into 1 plus A beta. So therefore, it is very much clear that the input impedance without feedback has been increased by the desensitivity factor for the input impedance of feedback amplifier. So input impedance has been raised by this quantity due to this series connection at the input side. Similarly, when we calculate the shunt connection, there is a output impedance due to feedback. We will see that due to this shunt connection, the output impedance will fall. Okay, here it has been increased, but the same amount it will fall. So to calculate the output impedance, we have to take one modification, that is we have to replace. That is, first we have to write what is output impedance. Output impedance Z out is given by V0 divided by I0. That is, this is the V0 and divided by I0 we have to take, and here we have to modify, that is we have to short circuit. Okay, so remember, for Z out calculation, Vs should be grounded. Okay, and then you have to calculate V0 by I0, where V0 we are considering replacing this load resistance by the independent voltage source V0. So no need to write V0 here. So remember, this is solely required for output impedance calculation only, where we are connecting a V0 independent voltage source at the output, and at the input we are short circuiting the source voltage. So now what we can write, at the input side, if you apply KVL, then what you are getting? So writing KVL and this input, we are getting Vi plus Va equal to 0, or Vi is equal to, instead of Vf what you can write, it is beta V0. So it is minus beta V0. So this is one thing. At the output side, what we can write, what is I0 entering? I0 is V0 minus AVVI divided by R0, because R0 is offering low impedance, so therefore most of the current will flow through R0. So therefore I0 can be written as V0 minus AVVI divided by R0. Now here instead of Vi we can replace by beta V0, so it is V0 minus EV into minus beta V0. So this is equal to V0 plus EV beta V0 divided by R0. So finally this equation, now it is not required. So finally from this equation we can write R0 divided by, or better you write in this way, just cross multiply R0 I0 equal to V0, if we take common 1 plus AV beta, or V0 by I0 is equal to R0 divided by 1 plus AV beta. So therefore, as evident that output impedance without feedback amplification, without feedback network R0 has been reduced due to feedback operation. This is V0 by I0 is the overall impedance due to feedback, which is nothing but a reduced impedance R0 divided by 1 plus A beta. And this is required because for voltage amplifier we need the output impedance to be as low as possible, and that has been possible by using feedback, this desensitivity factor that reduces the output impedance. So therefore this gives you, so we can write this is equal to nothing but Z out. So this is regarding the voltage amplifier, or it is a series. Voltage shunt feedback means output quantity is voltage and input connection is shunt. That means input is the current quantity. So therefore, it is also known as current to voltage converter. That is a trans resistance amplifier. So there are two names, 1, 2, as well as another name we can give. Third name, input connection is shunt, output connection is also shunt. So therefore, it is shunt feedback amplifier. Now here, as it is the shunt feedback amplifier, the current source, it is a source signal. Okay, so source signal has parallel resistance, so it is a non-equivalent current source which is connected to the feedback amplifier, and here it is the feedback network which gives you the dependent current source, which is beta V0. Why beta V0? Because output quantity is voltage, so voltage has been fed back to the input side as current, so current is converted. Okay, so voltage to current conversion has been done using the feedback network, and we are getting the feedback current is given by beta V0. So here what we can write a current division rule, that is what is the amount of current flowing here, that we can write easily, and better you can write a KCL also here. We can write a KCL at this node. So therefore you are getting So what is your IF? That's beta V0. So instead of writing again this equation, better you write V0 is equal to what? This voltage. So we get from the output section, that is V0 is equal to Rm into I suffix I. So from this equation, if we replace the input current here, so what we are getting? So from this equation and this equation, we are replacing I input. So I source is given by V0 by Rm plus beta V0. So from this you can get the transconductance gain due to feedback, that is V0 by Is. You can easily calculate. This will be equal to Rm divided by 1 plus Rm beta. So here Rm stands for the transconductance gain. Okay, so this transconductance gain is without any feedback network, and we are getting the V0 by Is, that is the overall gain due to feedback. That is, this is AA, which we are getting the transconductance gains without feedback has been reduced by the factor 1 plus Rm beta. So therefore, this is again desensitivity factor for this amplifier. So there are two more things that we have to discuss, that is input impedance and the output impedance. To calculate the input impedance, what will be the input impedance here? As we know, this is the Vi. So Vi is the voltage across the input impedance without feedback network. So this is the basic amplifier input impedance Ri, and due to this shunt connection, we have to prove that this input impedance will be reduced. So therefore, Vi divided by the source current gives you the input impedance due to feedback amplifier. That is, now we are calculating the input impedance Zin. That is equal to Vi divided by I source. Now what is your Vi? Vi is given by Ri into I input divided by I source can be written as input current plus feedback current. So it is the input current plus feedback current. So therefore we can write it is Ri into I input divided by I input plus If stands for Rm into Ii. So it is Rm into I input. So therefore we can easily write this is equal to, also here one factor we have to multiply beta, because If means beta times V0, where V0 is Rm into Ii. So here we have replaced the V0. So therefore this is equal to Ri divided by 1 plus Rm into I. So Rm into beta, that is I input cancels out. So therefore here we can prove that due to this shunt connection at the mixing network reduces the overall input impedance due to feedback amplification. So Ri divided by this is the desensitivity factor. Now next we have to calculate the Z out. Now what is Z out? Z out is nothing but the voltage divided by this current. So V0 divided by I0. Now similar to the earlier case, what you have to do, we have to again replace this load resistance by a voltage source. And the current is entering here, and here what you have to do, we have to make it open circuit. So therefore here, if I write a KCL at this point, you see there is a branch current, feedback current and the input current. So therefore I suffix I and I suffix A, I suffix I and I suffix A, their summation must be equal to 0. So this gives you I suffix I is equal to minus beta V0, that is minus beta into what is V0? V0 is nothing but Rm into I input, or better you write this, it is equal to beta V0 up to this. And here what you have to write here at the output, what is the amount of current flowing into the R0 that you have to write. That is I0 could be written as I0 is equal to V0 minus this voltage divided by R0. So instead of this I input, which is beta V0, you can write it is V0 minus Rm into, instead of input current, you can write minus beta V0. So it is minus beta V0 divided by R0. So this is V0 plus Rm beta V0 divided by R0. So now if you take V0 by I0 from this equation, you will easily write V0 by I0 is equal to R0 by 1 plus Rm beta. So what does it mean? R0 is the output impedance without feedback amplifier. That is, for the basic amplifier, R0 is the output impedance. Due to feedback connection, we are getting the overall output impedance has been reduced by the factor 1 plus Rm beta. That is again desensitivity factor divides the output impedance. So therefore, this is your resultant Z out. So Z out has been reduced. That is, overall output impedance of the feedback amplifier has been reduced by the factor 1 plus Rm beta. So in the next video, we will go for the discussion of the remaining two feedback topologies. That is, one is the transconductance amplifier. Now here we have discussed transresistance, so transconductance remain, as well as the current amplifier.